Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight podcast presented by CVG. I'm your host, Sarah Brookbank. Today on the podcast, we are joined by the Fritsch family from BF Realty, who highlight their boutique brokerage's recent expansion into Northern Kentucky. On NKY at Work, Nancy Spivey is joined by Johanna Nix of Beckfield College. She shares details about their career fair happening on May 9th, as well as their nursing program. Thank you to our podcast sponsors, CVG, our title sponsor, C Crew Consulting, our digital sponsor, and our episode sponsor, Schneller Knockelman. We have two business council meetings happening in the month of May. First up, the Florence Business Council's upcoming meeting on Thursday, May 16th, will feature a State of the City update from Mayor Julie Aubuchon. The Fort Thomas Business Council is also meeting on Thursday, May 16th at Grassroots in Vine. This month's focus is networking, so if you do attend that, be sure to bring some business cards. You can register and learn more about both of our business councils at nkychamber.com/business councils. Now, let's go get the business news roundup from Link NKY, meet our members of the week, hear from our sponsors, and Nancy and I will be back with this week's guests.
The Link NKY Business Roundup is sponsored by Payroll Partners. Business owners, CFOs, and HR pros just don't have time for hold times and hotlines. They need payroll partners. Welcome back to another Link NKY Weekly Business News Roundup. For Link NKY, I'm Noah Jones, here to fill you in on all the latest news from the past business week. Let's begin. Residents of Richwood County Estates are facing a crucial decision as a real estate developer seeks a zone change for a 34.87-acre plot of land adjacent to their subdivision. Mark Jacobs, representing Jake's Farm Real Estate Development Company, aims to develop the property into a 55 and older community named Cornerstone Gardens. However, if the zone change is denied, Jacobs has threatened to use the land for a free-range pig farm. Concerns from residents include potential traffic impacts and loss of rural landscape. The outcome of the zoning decision will determine the future character of the area as well, with residents divided over the proposed developments. The Boone County Planning Commission recently gave the green light to changes proposed for a Union Marketplace, a commercial development project spearheaded by Terrace Holdings. These modifications, approved unanimously during a May 1st meeting, include adding a 2,200 square foot building, erecting a monument sign along the US 42, and creating a driveway linking the site to a nearby Kroger. Ober's Flowers is set to occupy the new building. The commission ensured the sign adheres to specific regulations regarding its height, size, and absence of electronic features. Originally announced by Braxton Brewing Company in 2022, Union Marketplace initially aimed to feature a brewery, a pizzeria, and a grader's scoop shop, with additional amenities like green spaces. While progress has been made, particularly with the completion of the grader's outlet, work on the brewery-pizzeria combination has been slow. Terrace Holdings co-owner Adam Cheney presented the revised plan, emphasizing similarities to their existing commercial complexes like the Point in Westchester, Ohio. The Kenton County Planning Commission unanimously approved a public review of the new Latonia branch of the Kenton County Library on Thursday. The new branch will be located in the Latonia Commerce Center along Winston Avenue in Covington. Ensweiler Building Institute, Big Lots, and Fairhaven Thrift Store are also located to the Commerce Center. The land has about 12.4 acres in area, and the building itself contains about 12,000 square feet. The branch will share about 560 parking spaces with the other businesses at the center. Finally, New Riff Distilling, based in Newport, had an impressive showing at the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition, securing a total of 10 medals. The competition, known for its blind tasting conducted by a select panel of judges, announced the results on April 30th. New Riff's 6-year-old malted rye whiskey was honored with a prestigious double gold award, the highest accolade possible. Additionally, several of the other spirits received gold medals, including their Kentucky Sour Mash single malt whiskey, bottled in bond Kentucky straight rye whiskey, single barrel rye whiskey, Balboa rye whiskey, bottled in bond Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, and the 8-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Among their silver medalists were the single barrel bourbon, Nocino liqueur, and winter whiskey. The impressive recognition underscores New Roof's commitment to high-producing, high-quality spirits. Well, that's it for this week's Link NKY Business News Roundup. For Link NKY, I'm Noah Jones. Thanks again for watching.
Why would you travel to England?
For football.
To go or not to go? That is an easy question. To visit the land of Shakespeare.
To take in all the sights.
Authentic fish and chips.
To experience arts and culture.
2 words, British Open.
To visit my family.
Same reason I go anywhere. For a pint of beer. To start my trip through Europe.
Whatever your reason, there's no better time than now.
Ranking on Google Search and Maps is easy to understand, but hard to do. It requires constant effort and attention, uploading new photos, responding to Google reviews, writing weekly posts, and checking suggested updates. Google listing optimization takes experience and time, and there are no shortcuts. C-Crew gives your Google My Business account the steady, consistent attention it needs to be effective, optimizing, updating, and expanding critical content every single week. From local retail stores to large regional networks, C-Crew generates content, establishes benchmarks, and creates dramatic, measurable increases in engagement. So what can C-Crew do for your business? More calls, more clicks, more clients.
Congratulations to our members of the week. You can learn more about these businesses by following the Northern Kentucky Chamber on social media, where we will highlight one of these businesses each day. Now, let's meet our members of the week. Toyota Boshiku America, based in Erlanger, is one of the world's premier interior systems suppliers and filter manufacturers. EMP Mobile Welding is a veteran-owned small business that specializes in mobile welding, fabrication, and installation of structural and architectural steel. Barnes Denig is a certified public accounting and consulting firm serving businesses and nonprofits throughout Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana. Holly Hill is dedicated to protecting and supporting the most vulnerable members of our community. They are hosting their 62nd annual Golf Classic at the golf courses of Kenton County on June 14th. PKD Travel Pro is a premier full-service travel agency for individuals seeking the adventure of a lifetime, specializing in corporate travel, cruise and Disney vacations, and honeymoon packages. Hi, everyone. Today on the podcast, I am joined by Brittany and Drew Fritch of BF Realty. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes, so let's jump right in. You guys are obviously a real estate firm. You guys have been working in Ohio for a couple of years, but you just started working in Kentucky recently. But tell us about your organization.
So we are a boutique family-owned brokerage, and we're a home-based flagship office in Loveland, Ohio. And I'm actually from Northern Kentucky, as two of the three of our children are as well. Yeah. So it made sense that once we were kind of up and running and doing extremely well, to open up a second location in Fort Thomas.
Well, also, she's born and raised in Kentucky.
Yeah,
so
that too.
I brought her back in Ohio, but now it's time to come home. So she's always wanted to come back and be a part of the community. So we're happy to be back.
Yeah. And our brokerage, our boutique brokerage, actually opened in 2022. If you can believe that. Yeah. So just a few years ago. But we're not that brand new. I've been in the business since 2017. We opened our office in Loveland in 2020, and then our own brokerage in 2022. So it's time in 2024 to come back to Northern Kentucky.
Yeah, that is great. It's great to have you guys here operating on both sides of the river. So tell us about why you guys picked Fort Thomas, and obviously you're from Northern Kentucky, so wanting to come home makes a lot of sense. But why Fort Thomas, and what are you guys seeing in the area right now?
Well, I don't know how much you know about Loveland, Ohio, but it's almost like the very same thing as Fort Thomas. It's a small, quaint, historic town with deep roots in family and small businesses, mom and pop shops, also in a Dora district. Mm-hmm. So we kind of have a vibe. A historic building, a small storefront, just the double windows, and walking communities. So lots of foot traffic, lots of involvement, grassroots movement.
Yeah, we also drove around to different communities just to get a feel. Mm-hmm. And Fort Thomas felt like home. So we would drive up and down the street just looking for sale signs. And so someone popped one up and we saw it. Actually, our friend saw it and called me and said, you got to get down here. So the next day we were talking to the owner and striking up a deal. So it just felt like home.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually our office that we ended up buying on South Fort Thomas Avenue as a child, so I was raised by the YMCA.
Yeah.
Thomas, literally. That's where I lived with my parents worked. So like after school programs, summer programs, I lived there. So I had walked by our current building 1,001 times from the YMCA to Tower Park.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, and stopping off at the Southside Deli and, you know, grabbing a slushie. Yeah. So it just very much, to his point, it felt like home when that happened.
Well, and side note, when we were first married, we lived in Cold Spring on 27. So we also used to work out at the Y. So it was literally right down the street. But anyway, so now here we are.
So a nice plug for the YMCA.
Yeah. That is so funny that it feels very full circle. It feels like coming home. And it's really nice because you guys are also a very family forward, family run business. Yeah. Tell us about that and the culture you guys are building.
Yeah. So our son who's here, he's taking B-roll behind the scenes. He is going to be 19 in May. He graduated high school. He had actually a scholarship to play college basketball and decided, hey, this family business seems like way more fun. So I would rather do that. So we're kind of cool. Yeah. But our girls are involved, 15 and 12. Obviously, Drew and I are husband and wife, but then all of our agents as well.
We encourage all the agents to have their kids involved. So when we do like parades and stuff, like we invite the whole family. We have gatherings at our house with everybody's, you know, significant other and their kids. So we just love the family vibe. Mm-hmm. And it's, you know, my kids love working with us. They love doing like cards. They love addressing cards, stamping them. Like, I think they go around back to school and they're just proud of like what we're doing. Mm-hmm. So it feels good.
Yeah. And it's really cool to see you guys doing that. And as employers, obviously working with the other agents, that's probably very important to the people that you work with.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Especially in real estate, it demands a great deal of time, energy, and effort. Mm-hmm. So it's not something that you turn your phone off at 5 o'clock and you don't turn it back on until 8 the next morning, or that you have the weekend off. Right. Like you were on call 24/7. And I mean that, you know, so it's very important when we onboard agents or new employees that understand, hey, your family needs to be bought into like what we're doing and the greater mission behind the cause. Sure. Otherwise, they're going to be irritated every time you're taking their call and you're having to step away from the soccer field, right? Yeah. Like you're having to step away from the game or you're having to step away from dinner if they don't understand why you're doing it. And so that's why it's very much a family culture, because everyone understands what we're trying to do, which is a lot bigger than just real estate.
Well, we also set goals like family, like, you know, what do you want with your family, right? Not just yourself. And then we'll set goals. And to see them attain those goals is amazing. That makes us feel great. Like that really is high for us because we're changing not only client lives or people we're selling homes with, but you know, our agents' lives. So that's an awesome feeling.
Yeah. So you guys have been working, you said, is it 2022 when you started off on your own? Mm-hmm. As you guys have been on this journey, what are some things that you've learned as basically small business owners?
It's really hard. It's like the hardest, actually. Yeah. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. And I've done a lot of hard things. It's hard, but it is the most fulfilling thing that I think I could have ever found myself doing. Mm-hmm.
There's no roadmap, right? Like nobody's telling you this is where you're going. We're just trying to figure it out ourselves as best we can. So things that work for us might not work for other people. Mm-hmm. But our map is obviously different than other people's map. And that's why we chose the boutique brokerage, not to go with a big box brand.
Right. And tell us about that boutique aspect. I know that's something that is a little bit different than your like standard real estate agent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I call it like the Navy SEALs of real estate. Like we pick and choose who we want, right? Like people come to us and we, if they're a great fit, we hire them, right? But if they're not, we don't hire them. So we're not just plugging agents in and making a living off expenses. Like we couldn't live off expenses off agents. So we need people to produce. So we feel like if you go with a BF Realty agent, you know, they've been handpicked and they're above average, I would hope.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, we realize like real estate is old as time, right? It's been around forever and ever. The industry hasn't changed much in decades and decades. And what we ended up finding out is that our options were do it on our own, right? As like individual agents, you can do that from your sofa, from your house. Like you don't need an office to do that. Expenses are way down if you do it that way. Yeah. Or, you know, if you're getting too busy, like, oh, you could build a team, which we did. And that worked for a while, but then it's like, okay, you're even growing even more because what you're doing is making such an impact on the community around you that it's like you have a big box brand franchise that you can maybe purchase and buy and do that, but then maybe you have corporate out of Colorado or Texas telling you what you can do here in small town northern Kentucky. And what do they know about buying and selling houses or running a business in Kentucky or Ohio for that matter? So when we were looking at like what are our options, and they all were kind of like, they're all terrible. Why not like forge our own? And again, I like boutique. I like the style of shopping at a boutique shop. Like, of course, I love Target. Hello, who doesn't love Target? But like, if I want the experience of like watching the owner stock the shelves and say hi and meeting their kid out back who's doing their homework, you know what I mean? Like, I would rather buy my bracelets or my earrings from the nearest mom and pop shop versus stopping in the Target. Right. So that's what we are. We're very much grassroots, and we give back a lot. So in the larger style brokerages, yes, they give back, and the individual agents and teams, sure, they give back, but they're limited and they're just so big that they're kind of lost on like what's going on here. Yeah. We give back to like where we're serving. Right. So in Ohio, our local school in 2022, when we first opened, we went back and did the math, and it was a little over $150,000 that we, as a small boutique brokerage, had given back to the schools, whether it was through Kindness Council t-shirts or just helping their initiatives or student athletes. So we're just very much grassroots, boutique, hands-on customized services.
Yeah, we put the money back in the community. That's our philosophy. We don't buy the leads off Zillow and Realtor.com. We'll put it back in the community, knowing that the community will come back and support us, and that's our leap of faith.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. That's the Navy SEALs.
Yeah. Well, that is incredible. That is so great to hear that you guys are working in the community. We're so excited to have you guys working in Northern Kentucky now. Mm-hmm. For people that want to get in touch with you all and learn more, how can people do that?
I'm everywhere. We're everywhere. Literally. Family business. Like, if you're not going to find me, you're going to find him, you're going to find one of our kids, you're going to find somebody. But no, we're all over online as well. So we're heavy on social presence. So wherever you like, if you like TikTok, we're there. If you like Facebook, we're there. Obviously, our website, bfrealtyhomes.com, Instagram, BF Realty Homes handle, so we're everywhere. My cell phone number is actually the public one on our Google business profile.
Yeah.
So you call that number, you
call or text. Yeah.
Well, that is great. That makes it very easy to find you guys. Yeah. But Brittany and Drew, it was so great to have you on the podcast to highlight your business. Before I let you guys go, what else do people need to know about BF Realty?
Well, we are hopefully having a grand opening soon in the next 30 days or so. So that's number one. Like, please come see us. Come see
us at the grand opening.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
You will be wowed. I can assure you. You'll just be like, oh my God, who are these people? And they're really cool and I want to be their friend. And yes, you do want to be our friend. But also we're looking for really great people to partner with. We don't pick just anybody to work with, like as far as agents go and employees go. Obviously, we just want people who have the same philosophy and family-oriented style that we have. But even nonprofits, other small business owners, the FTBC was phenomenal. The February meeting, I got to meet the Midway District's people, and that was incredible. So just come see us, come hang out with us, come spend some time with us, and
stop by and say hi. Yeah,
our grand opening.
Yeah. Anything else today?
That's it.
No, well, guys, thank you so much for joining the podcast. It was great to learn more about your business.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Hi, and thanks for joining the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce NKY at Work podcast. I'm Nancy Spivey, Vice President of Talent Strategies. On today's podcast, I am talking to Johanna Nix. Johanna is with Beckfield College. Welcome, Johanna.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I love your name, first of all. It's the name I don't hear very often, so I'm very happy to get to meet you and learn a little bit more about what's going on with Beckfield these days. So tell me a little bit about Beckfield College, the history, kind of where we started.
Beckfield College has been in Florence we're celebrating our 40th anniversary this year, so that's a big deal. And then we always have things going on, so there's always something great going on there. We actually are a career college, so we are focused on getting students in, getting them educated, and getting them employed. And we have a great track record.
So can you tell me a little bit, compared to other, like Northern Kentucky University, what does career college mean to me?
We're focused on getting the students in. We start them in their course. Mm-hmm. There's not a whole lot of prereqs that they have to do. They're going to start out right in the program. Okay. And then we try to get them through the program as quickly as possible so they can be employed. Okay.
So I understand you've been there, I think you said 10 years, right? So what kind of changes have you seen with Beckfield College in 10 years?
Growth, especially with nursing.
Okay.
We do have some new programs such as sonography and medical massage therapy. So those are relatively new, and there's a lot of interest in those for people that don't want to get into the nursing kind of things.
So you change things to accommodate kind of the employment projections.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so give me an example of some of the other programs besides nursing and the other two that you mentioned.
Well, business has been an ongoing course, and so that's a successful thing that we do there. And then medical massage and sonography.
Okay, great. So I understand you have a career fair coming up. What does that mean to the employers that are listening?
It means a lot to the employers that are listening, and we are open. It's a huge event. Last year we had close to 70 employers there.
Wow.
We get a huge tent and we put it up, and then we invite them and they come out, and we encourage the community as well as our students and families and anybody that's listening. We hope that these vendors these employers that we have invited will help us promote this event, because it's good. We want a lot of foot traffic and we want a lot of people to come out. We're on the bus line there, so it's very convenient. And it's exciting. This year we're adding food trucks. St. Elizabeth Mobile Mammography, they come every year.
Oh, great.
And so that's great for that annual follow-up screening that we need to have done. So they've been a great partner in numerous ways.
So it sounds like it's kind of almost like a festival atmosphere, right?
It's really, since I've been there, it's kind of, because we would have open houses with lots of kind of carnival-y like things, to now this has turned into a big like hiring event, and just we really make the most of it. We just really do everything we can. Every year we add to it and try to make it more special. We learn as far as what we want to keep and what we don't want to keep, and we just it's a great event. I've had many of our employers say it's the best one they go to, that they attend.
So the people that are participating, are they your students that are participating, alumni?
Well, yes, because we invite all the alumni, and our students come, and then we invite high schools to come.
Oh, wow.
So, and we have a special career panel this year that they're going to be participating in that, and our topic is professional identity. So I'm as proud as I can be about that. And so we just invite the high schools and vocational schools, especially those interested in what we have to offer there at Beckfield. And it's just wonderful. It's really fun. And it's just a warm, nice event. It's not anything too stuffy. Of course, we're outside, but it's just good. It's just a good event.
And tell me again, you said it's May 9th. What are the hours?
May 9th. Right there at Beckfield on Spiral Drive, and it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And anyone, they don't have to register. Employers have to register.
Employers
right?
do register, but we can get my email to anybody that would want to do that, and honestly, they can call us, or any way that they want to contact us, they will be included.
Okay. So there's no cap on number of employers?
We don't charge for this event, because we feel like the most wonderful thing they can do is just help promote it, because it's going to help everybody.
Sure.
So
totally agree. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Chris Knockelman with Schneller Knockelman Plumbing, Heating, and Air. It's spring now, but before you know it, our ACs are working overtime.
Dave, it's going to be warm soon.
Right now is a good time to get the AC serviced, right?
You can get your AC tuned up for only $59.
So get your $59 tune-up at
SKPHA.com. SKPHA. So if your plumbing and mechanical systems give you trouble, just remember our name, Schneller Knockelman.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about BF Realty and Beckfield College today on the podcast. Thank you once again to our podcast sponsors, CVG, C Crew Consulting, and Schneller Knockelman. Don't forget, we have 2 Business Council meetings happening on Thursday, May 16th. First up, the Florence Business Council and the Fort Thomas Business Council. If you are interested in joining those business councils and getting more information, check out nkychamber.com/business councils. Finally, if you're a member who would like to be featured on the podcast, or if you're someone who is interested in joining the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, please reach out to Lynn Ablin. And if you're a member who would like to share your workforce strategies and resources on NKY at Work, please reach out to Nancy Spivey. You can find their contact information on the screen in front of you or at our staff directory at nkychamber.com. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys next week.